Dear viewers, welcome to this lesson on angle properties of circle for O-level mathematics. This is the first lesson out of a series of 3. I'm Dr. Angatia from the MIE. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify the different parts of a circle, solve problems on circle using angle properties. So in this lesson, we are going to focus on only 2 properties. The first, angle at center is twice angle at circumference. Second, angle in the same segment are equal. So let us first explore the different parts of a circle using dynamic software, which is known as GeoGebra. So here we are. So this is a circle with center A and radius AC. So what is a radius? It is the distance from the center A to any point on the circle. ED is a chord. So what is a chord? A line segment that joins any 2 points on the circle. So this is a chord. The diameter. So a diameter is a line segment that joins any 2 points on the circle, but goes through the center. So this is the diameter, and we can see here that the diameter is 2 radii. We can also see that a chord can be the diameter. So the diameter is in fact the longest chord. What is an arc? An arc is part of a circumference. So this is an arc. In fact, we can have 2 arcs or more. So a small arc is known as the minor arc, and a longer arc is known as the major arc. So in this case, the blue one is a minor arc because it is smaller, and the purple one is the major arc. Now the situation is reversed. This one is a minor and the blue one is a major. Now, what is a sector? A sector is a region bounded by 2 radii and an arc. So the shaded region is a sector. So we can have 2 sectors. So the larger one being the major sector, this one, and the smaller one being the minor sector. Next, segment. What is a segment? Segment is a region bounded by an arc and a chord. So this is a segment. So we have 2 segments in this case. So the bigger one is known as the major segment, and the smaller one is the minor segment. So we will next explore the first property of circle using GeoGebra. So this is a circle with center O. So circle, and this is the angle at the center. So we can have any angle size, and we now add an angle at the circumference. So we can see here that angle at center is 70 and angle at circumference is 35. Let us vary the angles. So if we have angle 80 at the center, then angle at the circumference is 40 degrees. We can have 100 degrees at the center and angle at the circumference is 50. So we can stop at 120 at the center and angle at the circumference is 60. Can move on. So stop at 140 at the center. Circumference is 70. Can move on. So 160, that is 80. So 180 at the center, and then at the circumference, the angle is 90. You can see, so in a semicircle, any triangle will be a right angle triangle, the angle being 90. So as we can see, we can even further increase. Let us take 200. So angle at center is 200 and angle at circumference is 100. $70 at the center, and at the circumference we have 35. It can be here or over there. So what do we observe from these different possibilities? So we observe that angle at the center is always twice the angle at the circumference. So this is the first property of circles. Angle at center is twice angle at circumference. And we have also seen that angle in a semicircle, that is, if the angle at the center is 180 degrees, then angle at circumference is half, that is 90. So any angle in a semicircle will be 90 degrees. So we will now take some examples on this first property of circle. Example 1. Find the unknown angle in the following circles. Part 1. Angle at center is 110. Therefore, angle at circumference is equal to 110 divided by 2, which is 55. Part 2. Angle at center is B, and angle at circumference is 50. So B is equal to 2 times 50 is equal to 100. Part 3. Angle at center is 100 and angle at circumference is C. So C is equal to 100 divided by 2, which is 50 degrees. Part 4. Here, angle at center is 180. Therefore, angle at circumference must be 90 degrees. Also, we can see that this is a triangle in a semicircle. Therefore, D is 90 degrees. Part 5. Angle at center is E. Angle at circumference is 120. So E is equal to 2 times 120, which is 240 degrees. Part 6. Angle at circumference is F. Angle at center should have been this way, but we know this angle is 140. Therefore, the reflex angle is 360 minus 140, which is 220 degrees. So looking from this side, this is angle at center and angle at circumference here. So F is equal to 220 divided by 2, which is 110 degrees. Part 7, we have a triangle in a semicircle. So angle at circumference here is 90 degrees. We have 60 degrees, therefore G is equal to 90 degrees minus 60, which is 30 degrees. Now, example 2, find first part, angle OBC, second, angle ABO. Let's just have a look at the diagram. This is for the first part, OBC, angle represented by H here, and second part, angle ABO. So ABO, that is K. So for the first part, we need to look for angle OBC, that is, we need to look for H, and for the second part, we need to look for angle ABO. ABO, we need to look for K. But observe that BA and AC, they are equal. Therefore, ABC is an isosceles triangle with ABC and ACB, they are equal. Also, BO and OC are two radii. Therefore, BOC, triangle BOC, is also an isosceles triangle with H equal to this angle. So, we know that angle at center is twice angle at circumference. Therefore, angle BOC is equal to 2 times angle BAC. Therefore, BOC is equal to 2 times 50, which is 100. So now, to find angle OBC, we know already that BOC is equal to 100 degrees, and we also know that BOC is an isosceles triangle. That is, these two angles at B and at C are equals. Therefore, to obtain OBC, we have 180 minus 100 divided by 2. So we have OBC is equal to 80 divided by 2, which is 40 degrees. Part 2. Find angle ABO. So ABO represented by K here. So to find K, we need to know what is angle ABC. And then from ABC, we subtract 40 degrees. But BAC being an isosceles triangle, ABC is equal to ACB. So ABC is equal to ACB is equal to 180 minus 50 divided by 2, which is 65. So we know that ABC and ACB, they are both equal and they are 65 degrees. So we know that ABC is 65 and OBC is 40 degrees. Therefore, K, that is ABO, is equal to 65 minus 40 degrees, which is 25 degrees. We will now explore the second angle property of circle using GeoGebra. So this is a circle, and the shaded part is a segment. So we have a segment. Now we have one angle, angle D or CDE, in the shaded segment. So we can see that angle CDE is 45 degrees. We add a second angle, angle F, which is again 45 degrees. So anywhere in the segment, angle F is 45. Now let us vary the angle. So we can see that they are both equal. Whatever the angle D and F on the circumference, in this segment, they are equal. We add one more angle, angle G, which is equal to the two previous angles, and they are all equal. 60, 70, so they are equal. We add one more angle, angle H, anywhere in the shaded segment. The angle is 46, and it is equal to the previous angles. And if we change the angle, again, they are all equal. Now, let us consider an angle in the unshaded segment. So we can see here that the angle is not the same as in the shaded segment. So what we have seen here is that all the angles in the same segment, they are all equal, irrespective of the angle size and size of the circle. So angles in the same segment of a circle are equal. So this is the second property of circles. So we will now have a look at some examples. So example 1 for the second property, find the unknown angle marked in each case. So in the first case, angle A is the same as 60. So A is equal to 60 because they are angle in the same segment. Part B, here B is equal to 38 and C is equal to 53. They are angles in the same segment. Example 2. Find first part, angle TVU. Second part, angle VTS. Let us have a look at the diagram. So we have TU, UV. They are equal. TU is equal to UV. So TUV is an isosceles triangle. Therefore, angle T here is equal to angle V here. That is, VTU is equal to UVT. So, TVU is equal to 40 degrees as TVU is the base angle in isosceles triangle TUV. Now, second part, angle VTS. VTS, shaded part here, shaded angle. Now, when we look at this diagram, we can see that VTS and VUS are angles in the same segment, shaded segment here. So, to be able to find VTS, we can first find VUS. But remember that this is only one way in finding the solution. There are many other options. So I will solve this problem by first finding angle VUS. So if we look at this triangle, TVU, it is an isosceles triangle. We know already these two angles there for T. So we first find TUV, which is 100. So we know that TUV is equal to 100. We also know that from this triangle, TU and this point, we have two angles, 40 and 85. So we can look for this third angle here. So the third angle, TUS, is equal to 180 minus 40 plus 85. Why? Because sum of angle in a triangle is equal to 180. So TUS is equal to 55. Now, TUS is equal to 55 and TUV is equal to 100. Therefore, we can look for VUS by subtracting 55 from 100. So, VUS is equal to 100 minus 55, which is 45. We also know that VUS is equal to VTS as they are angles in the same segment. So VTS is equal to VUS is equal to 45 as they are angles in the same segment. So to sum up what we have covered in this lesson, we first identify the different parts of a circle. We then solve problems on circle using angle properties. First, angle at center is twice angle at circumference. And second, angles in the same segment are equal. So with this, we reach the end of our lesson. Don't forget that there are 2 more videos on angle properties of circles. And the link to all the GeoGebra tools being used through our lessons will be given to you in the last lesson. So, for now, it's goodbye from me.